Hello everyone, welcome to our delicious slice of history today. We are going to unwrap the story of beloved global staple, the sandwich. Let's start with the name itself, sandwich. It's widely believed that the sandwich is named after John Montagu, the fourth Earl of Sandwich. He was a notorious gambler, and as legend has it, during a particularly long gambling stint in the 18th century, he requested a meal that wouldn't chop his game. The solution? Meat tucked between two pieces of bread that could be eaten with one hand without leaving his corpse greasy. Thus, without knowing, the elf coined the term and concept of sandwich. But let's slice a bit deeper. Long before the owl got his title, people were already enjoying what would become known as sandwiches. In ancient times, the Mediterranean people had started eating flatbreads with oils, spices, and toppings. Jump to the Middle Ages, and you'd have people in Europe using thick slabs of stale bread called trenchers as plates for their meals. Once they were done, they'd eat the food-soaked bread or give it to the poor, an early version of the open-faced sandwich. Moving on to 18th century Europe. The emergence of the sandwich as we know it began out of convenience. It was a quick meal for those who were busy or on the move, such as travelers and workers. And it wasn't long before this practical meal crossed the oceans. In America, the sandwich evolved quite differently. By the 19th century, we see an explosion of variety, from New Orleans po' boy to the Philadelphia chick stick. Each region started creating its unique take on sandwich, heavily influenced by immigrant cultures. The diversity in American sandwiches represents a melting pot of traditions and flavors, arguably not as famous as the classic peanuts, butter, and jelly. But the sandwich isn't just Western tradition. If we look at this, we get a world of different examples. In India, we have the vada pav, a deep fried potato dumpling in a bread bun. In the Middle East, there is the kebab, slices of spiced meat in pita. In Vietnam, there is banh mi, a product of French colonialism and combining a baguette with native ingredients like cilantro, cucumber, and pickled carrots. Fast forward to modern times, and the sandwich becomes not just about sustenance, but about artistry and gourmet cuisine. With the rise of food culture, every sandwich has potential to be a masterpiece. From artisanal bread to exotic filling and intricate layering, the sandwich has become a canvas for creativity. In closing, the story of sandwich is much like the sandwich itself, layers of history, culture, and innovation. What started as a practical solution for a hungry gambler has become a global phenomenon. Simple yet versatile, it's a testament to human ingenuity in creating varied and delicious food. As we munch our way through time, the simple sandwich has witnessed some remarkable moments. Sandwiches have been present at major events and have featured in popular culture, literature, and politics. The famous British author Jane Austen mentions sandwiches in her writing, which help us see how his culinary creation had become part of social gathering and picnics during Regency era. In the Victorian era, the sandwich took on a new role in society as part of afternoon tea, a meal that became a social institution among the upper classes. Dainty, crustless sandwiches served at these events were a far cry from their humble, hearty origins, just how versatile the concept of the sandwich had become. Across the Atlantic during the early 20th century, the sandwich started to show its industrial potential. With the rise of pre-sliced bread in the 1920s, famously boosted by the Wonder Bread brand, sandwiches became even more convenient for the average American household, launching the concept of packed lunch that school children and workers still enjoy today. During World War II, the sandwich played a significant role on the home front, serving as a practical food for volunteers and workers who were aiding the war effort. The rationing of meats and other ingredients led to creative and sometimes also sandwiches concoctions which were easy to transport and consume during arduous time. In the post-war era, sandwiches got supersized in America. With the booming economy came the demand for bigger, meatier, and more extravagant sandwiches, possibly a reflection of the nation's growing prosperity and appetite for life. As fast food culture took off globally, the sandwich adjusted once more, becoming a staple of quick service restaurants. The 1950s onwards saw chains like Savory and McDonald's embedding the sandwich and its round counterpart, the burger, into the fabric of fast food. Then came the health and wellness revolution of the late 20th and early 21st centuries, where sandwiches weren't just about being steak high with fillings. They also sought to reflect growing consequences about nutrition and diet. Whole grain bread, organic ingredients, and plant-based options began to be sandwiches, changing the landscape of sandwiching once more. And let's not forget the fusion sandwiches, a symbol of gastronomic globalization. From kimchi burgers to curry paninis, the modern sandwich palette knows no bounds. People are always experimenting, blending East and West, old and new, comforting and exotic, all within the convenient confines of bread. So there we have it. The sandwich isn't just a quick bit, it's a piece of history. It reflects economic changes, technological advances, cultural diversity, and social trends. The simple act of placing ingredients within bread has moved our journey from the past to the present day, telling a story about how we live, what we value, and how we eat. Every sandwich has a tale, from the Italian migrant making a meatball sub in New York deli to the Japanese parent preparing a katsu sando for their child's school lunch. It's a testament to the sandwich's universal appeal and timeless quality that it continues to delight taste buds and fill stomachs all around the world. And with that, we wrap up our layer look into history of sandwich. It's more than just a food item, it's an icon of our ingenuity in eating on the go. A testament to our ever-evolving taste preferences and symbol of collective cultural experiences that we share one bite at a time. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the delightful story of the sandwich. Keep exploring the countless fillings and flavors that this culinary wonder has to offer, and maybe even create your own sandwich legacy. Until next time, keep stacking those layers and relishing the flavors of your